Hello friends, welcome to the Planeswalker project. I appreciate you stopping by as always, and I hope you'll stay for a spell. So the Mystery Booster has been fully previewed with a whopping 1,694 reprinted cards from throughout Magic's history. There are also 121 new cards that are going to be from the playtest cards, but we're not going to discuss those. Each booster pack will contain 14 cards from the main set, and then 1 card from the playtest cards. These cards will retain their original set symbol and their original look. The only distinguishing feature to let you know they're from this mystery booster is the small Planeswalker symbol in the lower left corner of the card. The set is designed for Chaos Draft, and while this set is tremendous, when it hits retailers in 2020, it will provide some level of reprint for a lot of the cards we're going to discuss today. And so without further ado, we're going to discuss the top 20 Commander reprints from the Mystery Booster. I'm doing 20 rather than 10 just because of how big this set is. I don't want to miss any cards. Anyway, let's begin. Leave a like if you enjoy what follows. Starting off our list is a mana rock that actually hasn't seen a reprint in quite some time. Thought Vessel, a utility rock that not only taps for mana, but it gives you no maximum hand size. This is critical to decks that rely on heavy amounts of card draw, so they get to keep their cards at the end of their turns. This is also useful to have alongside of cards like Reliquary Tower, where the redundancy is good in case one of these is removed. Next is Ashnod's Altar, another mana rock of sorts. This one lets you sacrifice a creature to produce 2 colorless mana. This is a staple in dozens of decks ranging from Sacrifice to Aristocrats to Token decks. It's good to see it's being reprinted. Herald's Horn is here too, being a key card in many tribal decks. This gives you the potential to draw an additional card each turn, as well as give you a discount on the creature type of your choice. Aura Shards is included on this list as well, having not seen a reprint since the original 2011 Commander Precon decks, and it being a staple in so many Selesnya token decks, I'm happy to see that it's getting a reprint, even if it is essentially the same as their old card. Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow, is the first on our list for the legendary creatures that are in this set. Being our first good ninja tribal commander, she was also one of the few good legendary creatures to come from Commander 2018. As stealthy as a ninja could be, she's managed to get onto our list. Dragon Broodmother is next, and it is actually a rather interesting include on this list. I adore this card and its design, creating little dragons that will eventually be consumed by another dragon, making them substantially stronger. I also love the Devour mechanic, and I'm happy to see this rather pricey card getting a reprint. Purphoros, God of the Forge, has finally gotten a reprint. One of the best Theros gods, this card is critical in Goblin and Token decks, being able to shock each opponent with each creature that we spawn. Athreos, God of the Passage, is here as well, and this is a rather curious include, as this commander had seen a recent surge in popularity after the Shadowborn Apostle deck was showcased on game nights. This is actually an incredibly powerful commander, and it's good to see a reprint to hopefully reel in its price tag. Demonic Tutor, perhaps the best tutor in the game, is back and is a great include. I can always appreciate a reprint like this that's going to allow players who are newer to the game and the format to access these powerful cards without having to put out a ton of money to get their older reprint cards. Along the same lines as the previous legends, Animar, Soul of the Elements, is getting another reprint. This is a very popular commander for Zoo decks, Morph decks, and Eldrazi decks. It's incredibly powerful, and it was getting back up there in price after being printed in Masters 25. Reprint welcomed. Sliver Hivelord is one of the very few Sliver legends that aren't on the reserved list, and this one for a long time was considered to be one of the better alternatives to the Sliver Hivelord or the Sliver Queen. Giving Indestructible to your Slivers is a very strong Anthem effect, and of course now that it's back, you can definitely expect to see more Sliver decks popping up. Marin of Clan Nel Toth is next and is one of the best Precon legends ever printed. She has become synonymous with Reanimator as one of the best options for the strategy. She's a great include. It's good to see them reprinting some powerhouse commanders again for people to obtain. Now, one of my first commanders ever, Rhys the Redeemed, got himself a new reprint after over a decade. This creature is without a doubt one of the strongest token commanders in the game, being able to go extremely wide, extremely easily, having almost a Parallel Lives-esque ability tacked on. Rhystic Study is here, and we're really closing in on some top-end commander cards now. Rhystic Study is a tremendous value engine in blue, letting you draw cards and tax your opponents. It's a shame this card hasn't seen a reprint since the original Commander's Arsenal, if you can count that as a reprint, but it makes for a wonderful common card to be reprinted at last. Allhammerit's Archive is one of those cards that kind of fell under the radar for me for a long time, as it slowly started creeping up in value as its value has been recognized. Doubling your life gain and card draw are two static abilities that have a ton of presence in Commander, and given its colorless nature as a generic artifact, it can go into literally every deck. Well, here we are, the final 5. These are some of the cards that I'm very happy to see reprinted, and to show that we actually have some money cards in here for once. At number 5 is Selvala, Heart of the Wilds. This is one of the best green ramp commanders for big creatures, giving card draw and a ton of mana ramp. It's also only had one printing ever, so good on Wizards giving her a new reprint. Teferi's Protection is by and far one of the best cards in white ever printed for Commander. This card is so strong in Commander as sort of a get-out-of-death-free card. Only ever printed in the Edgar Markov Precon of 2017, which was also incidentally the best and most popular Precon of 2017, this card commands a hefty price tag, and hopefully these mystery boosters are going to get a decent enough printing to really hone down some of those price tags. Expropriate is number 3, and is one of the most dangerous and scary win cons in Commander. Stealing permanents of your choice is scary, but even more scary is perhaps the prospect of getting you extra turns. This card usually ends Commander games, usually despite its very bulky mana casting cost. At its worst, you get one extra turn and a few stolen permanents from among the best in play. Anything better than that and you've already won. Bloom Tender was near the top of my list of cards needing a reprint in Commander Collection Green, but here we are a few sets early with the Mystery Booster reprinting it. This absurdly expensive 2-drop elf gives you plenty of mana, and combined with some untap abilities can easily go infinite. I'm so happy for seeing this. I'm so hopeful I can snag one up for substantially less than what it's currently sitting at. Last, but most certainly not least, is Mana Crypt. This is the only mana rock that exists that is better than Sol Ring that's also legal in Commander. This card is absolutely the most expensive card on this list in this set, and if you know how strong Sol Ring is, imagine casting it for free. The 3 life risk is child's play compared to the raw ability of this card, and should you open one in your draft, well, I won't judge you for picking it over anything else. I would say go for it, actually. So the Mystery Booster sort of came out of nowhere, and though it has had over 1,000 cards in it, among them are actually some surprisingly good reprints for the Commander format, and various rarities as well. I'm not sure as to what the availability of this product is going to look like when it's released to retailers, or how much it will be. I'm hopeful, crossing fingers, it will be about the same price as an actual booster draft pack of Magic the Gathering, you know, that $4 price tag range. As always, I might just stick to picking up any singles that drop within my budget. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to give it a like. You can support us over at Patreon if you wish. I do appreciate all of the support you've given me over the years. I appreciate you stopping by as always, and I'll catch you all next time.